it wasn't. Maybe we'll see something different this time round as we head on to the
5
formation.
red lights. And away we go then for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Lennart starts well, as does Rillatorn. FICO doesn't get away so well. Kagoda's already looking to make a move on him as Lennart is overtaken by Rillatorn into turn 1. Goes around on the outside. Further back as any contact. There is contact. Rillatorn's around. And Kagoda's gone into FICO. Formula Cringe up to P2. Kagoda P3. Cohen P4. Dan Edwin P5. FICO P6. As Rillatorn tumbles and tumbles, as does Panish Pan, and we've got full course yellows here from a first corner incident that's seen Max Martin fall to P18, as well as Rillatorn down to P10. A few drivers limping around the track here then. Looks like damage on one of the Haas there. There is Iggsy's without a front wing, just a nose cone left. What a dramatic start, Tom. And yeah, Dan Edwin, no front wing either, so he'll have to come into the pits too. As we prepare to resume racing then, Lennart picks his time to go, and he goes as the Alfa Romeos are pretty much side by side here. Kagoda caught slacking a little bit. The position is given back to Kagoda here, but there's a huge slipstream train here going down towards the first corner. Kagoda up to P3 then ahead of Cohen. Behind them though, absolute chaos going on. Lots of cars going side by side into turn 1. Rillatorn back up to P5. No touches there. Thankfully, all very cleanly through. And now Formula Cringe under a lot of pressure. Kagoda goes into P2. We've got some yellow flags behind us. Dan Edwin's out of the session. Contact behind. And almost contact again. Oh, there is contact again. Alex off the track. And spins, half spins rather, across the track.
Oh, Alex, he was doing so well running P5. That's kind of ruined his race a little bit there. Rillatorn up into P4. He'll be reasonably happy with that restart. But most importantly, Torin, Kagoda into second. That's what he needed to do.
No DRS just yet though, except that it will be now enabled on this lap.
And that gap just teetering around the second.
Oh, we've got Ferrari off, have we? Yes, Lennart's off! Lennart's off in the third corner. Kagoda's going to take the race lead. Lennart limps back onto the track. He's passed by FICO. He's passed by Vodka. It's going to come out P13. Oh, and that's so unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. Kagoda takes the lead.
He's not an easy man to overtake. Neither is Iggsy's ahead of him. As Splunks gets a penalty, it just goes from bad to worse. 43 seconds behind the rest of the pack. A weekend to forget so far for McLaren, or at least that side of the garage. Benny's still in 5th place. As Lennart, does he get through?
Oh, it's going to be close. He does, around the outside. What a move by Lennart. Oh, that's FICO off track actually there. So FICO re-enters behind Lennart. That's a free overtake. Oh, Lennart having a big moment going up the hill. Oh, Vacco Minerale. Here comes Servizi trying to get the position back. Lennart's not having it.
Yeah, and I think it's smart from them. They're in 3rd and 4th. Why fight? It's a huge opportunity to get points. And they might as well.
Oh, a tasty move there by Lennart to get past Iggsy's into turn 1. Sorry, let's cut you off again, Tom. Serious amounts of action in this race so far. I think seriously have to question it for one of the probably the best drive on SFR. Oh, and that's a bit of contact maybe there. Formula Cringe around, Lennart through.
Is it raining?
I don't know, but they were very close together. Lennart had to take evasive actions. I didn't see any. I wasn't sure if there was any contact at least, but Formula Cringe definitely struggling, and he's taking the time penalty. And
this race falling apart.
The Formula Cringe there.
It's falling apart for Alfa Romeo, Tor, and it's heartbreaking to see, especially if you're an Alfa Romeo fan. Outside of the top 10, when he started on pole for the sprint, weekend to forget for Mercedes. Oh, as this will be a brilliant move if he pulls this off. Formula Cringe to the inside. What a fantastic move at Tosa. Brilliant stuff. Max Martin, how does he play this here with Kagoda? Huge difference.
Some real game played here really with Red Bull to try and hold up Kagoda. I think that's going to come to an end here though, because I don't think Max Martin can do anything. He holds onto the inside line. He's going to try something though. Oh, a little bit of contact, a little bit of wheel banging. And I'd imagine Red Bull will pull Max Martin in now at the end of this lap.
Decent for them, but not quite what they'd want. They're currently best of the rest by just 1 point in 4th place. but Zombel
Kagoda has
still
left
bringing
the
home
session.
a decent amount. Why has Kagoda left the session?
Rillatorn's going to go breezing on past it because Kagoda's seemingly got AI control.
Oh, this is gutting for Kagoda. He's done everything right so far. And it's falling away as Rillator gets past, and surely you've got to think that would pull those 3 seconds out as he's caught behind a Mercedes, FICO in 16th, who took the pole position heading into the sprint. And that is gutting for Kagoda. Absolutely gutting. Maybe he'll be able to rejoin, I'm not too sure. But with not many laps left, it's not looking good for Kagoda. He might have a win snatched away from him here in the cruelest of fashion.
Remember, Rillator has got that 3-second time penalty, but Kagoda now slipping further and further away. 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 seconds now. Very nearly that 3 seconds that will need to be behind Rillator, and he is. Rillator now officially the race leader.
Thank you, Torin, on cue, with the penalties accumulated so far. And yes, both of those... Oh, is Nicola, what's happened here? A race for position as both the Alfa Romeos getting very close. Oh, and a Haas goes off here. Zombel, that's not what he would want. He was looking so good for that 6th place, but it's all gone to pot now. Alfa Romeo clawing back a couple of positions.
Max Martin still reeling in Lennart. So as he makes the move in a very unconventional spot on Formula Cringe. Formula Cringe lets him go, doesn't fight it back.
This could be huge. Does he go for the move? He's going to hug the inside. Does Lennart? Round the outside. Tamburello, does he go for the move? Round the outside to give him room? No, he's on the turn.
It's going to spin. Max Martin's around, and that could be investigated after the race. But for now, that's Max Martin's podium hopes out the window. Nicola goes breezing on by in the Alpine. Max Martin down to P5. I've no doubt there'll be some questions about that after the race. But there's no questions here. In the background, working tirelessly through the first few rounds, Rillator has been one of those drivers really trying to battle away into the top 3. And here he comes now to get a well-deserved first race win in unideal circumstances for Kagoda. And in the backyard of the prancing horse, the charging Red Bull charges through into a race win. 2nd place for Kagoda. Lennart will have a lucky escape there, but he might be investigated later on. So here comes Kagoda then. Takes P2. Max Martin has spun around, going out of Aqua Minerale then. So he's now very far off the back of Nicola as well. Lennart then around the final few corners. It really hasn't been the weekend that Lennart would have wanted. Started in 1st place in the race, pole position rather, and then he'll take 3rd place as Nicola with a great weekend for the Alpine man. Massive result for Alpine in P4, Max Martin in P5. He'll be followed home by Cohen, who's very closely got Sir Vizzy and Formula Cringe behind him.
Sir Vizzy with a penalty.
But Sir Vizzy, yeah, he's picked up that penalty. Where's this going to put Zombel then with these 3 getting penalties? Up ahead of Sir Vizzy and Formula Cringe. So some massive points then on the board for Haas. And VSA is going to just about sneak in to finish out the top 10 ahead of the race at 88. He's got 6 seconds off penalties. 10.8 seconds back to FICO behind him though, so he's pretty much safe there. And FICO with the most second penalties of anyone on the grid will take that 8-second penalty, which will award Alex P12, so 12th and 14th. And in fact, FICO's penalty went up to a 13-second penalty there for an unserved penalty.